So now that the newer, faster Tab S6 Lite 2022 edition is available, is it a better choice than the iPad 9th generation for about the same price? Let's compare as much as possible to find out. The good thing is the price of the new Galaxy Tab S6 Lite didn't really go up from the previous version and has been on sale already. Tablets are roughly the same price depending on where you buy them from, right around that $300 mark. So not bad for what you're getting regardless of which tablet you go with. The base model of each starts with 64 gigabytes of storage, and you get the option to go up to 128 for the Galaxy Tab or 256 for the iPad. With the Galaxy Tab, you get a 10.4-inch 2000 by 1200 resolution, where the iPad has a 10.2-inch 2160 by 1620 resolution, so slightly better resolution on the iPad, but they're going to be a little bit different size and shape, still pretty good quality for the price in my opinion. You can also watch YouTube videos at upscaled 4K resolution and then full HD playback resolution on apps like Netflix for both tablets, although there is going to be quite a bit of difference here when you're watching YouTube videos. You get the big bezels on each side of the iPad, and then you have those black bars at the top and bottom. So in that case, the screen on the Galaxy Tab is quite a bit larger, just something to keep in mind. I know some people out there are gonna say the iPad screen isn't laminated, so it's not as good as the screen on the Tab S6 Lite, but for me, I feel like both look pretty good in person, as long as you don't pay attention to the screen bleed on my version here. I'm hoping everyone out there who buys this doesn't have the same issue, but both look really good whether you're watching movies, playing games, just browsing online. Now when you put these two next to each other, you can see the iPad is a little bit brighter and colors seem to be a little bit more vibrant as well on the iPad. Now when it comes to build quality, really nice aluminum material there on the back. They've got a nice weight to them. They both actually feel like more premium than what they actually cost. And then when it comes to the batteries, the Galaxy Tab, you get a 7040 milliamp hour battery, where the iPad 9 has a 8557 milliamp hour. So you would think it's going to be longer battery life on the iPad since it's got a bigger battery. But during my testing, the iPad lasted 6 hours before dying, where the new and improved Galaxy Tab lasted 7.5 hours before it died in the same test. Now obviously you can probably double those times just by turning the screen brightness down to about halfway. So plenty of power to get through the day of normal usage. Obviously more if you turn the screen brightness down. Then when it comes to performance, even though the Galaxy Tab is a little bit more powerful than the previous version, it's got a newer Snapdragon processor instead of Exynos, and then you get the A13 Bionic chip with the iPad 9. Both tablets have pretty good performance as far as tablets in this price range. The iPad's still gonna win this category, especially if you're just going off Geekbench testing. It's actually leading by quite a bit. I don't think it's that big of a deal, maybe when you're doing some more graphic intense things. I know on the iPad 9, it can actually do some pretty decent video editing, or on the Galaxy Tab, not quite as good. Same thing with gaming, testing PUBG Mobile, Asphalt 9, plays fine on both of these. You can also play Apex Legends Mobile on either one, but if you want the tablet with a little better graphics, a little better gaming performance, you're gonna wanna go with the iPad. Now the newer Tab S6 Lite launched with Android 12, and it's going to be a little bit different compared to the software on the iPad. You'll still be able to do a lot of the same things on both, although you've got Samsung DeX on the Tab S6 Lite, and you don't really have anything comparable yet on the iPad. You can also connect a keyboard and mouse to both of these, but it's not going to feel quite as polished as on the Galaxy Tab. The iPad might be a little bit better once it gets iPadOS 16 update later this year, but until then, if you want to be a little more productive, probably going to want to go with the Galaxy Tab. But the one thing you do get on the iPad that you don't get on the Galaxy Tab is Touch ID or fingerprint scanner. And then that's also going to work as a physical home button as well. And then software support is going to be pretty good on both of these, so that's not really an issue. You'll have several years yet on both, and which software is going to be better for you is probably just going to come down to personal preference. One advantage the Galaxy Tab has is the S Pen is included, where you have to pay extra for the Apple Pencil when it comes to the iPad. And I also feel like the S Pen is a little bit better for most things, especially drawing, but everyone's going to have their own preference for that as well. Now the speakers haven't changed since the previous version on the Galaxy Tab. You got one speaker on each side, and I think it sounds pretty decent. Then you just have the two bottom firing speakers on the iPad. Not really the best setup, but I have to admit, it's quite a bit louder than you would expect. Here's a quick sample of each, just to give you an idea of what they sound like. You're also going to get the same cameras on the new Galaxy Tab as the previous version, but the weird thing is I feel like the quality of the cameras are a little bit better than before somehow. You get an 8 megapixel rear facing, 5 megapixel front facing on both tablets, and you can shoot up to 1080p 60 frames per second for video recording on the iPad, 1080p 30 frames per second on the Galaxy Tab. Neither one is really that great when it comes to low light situations, but as long as you have good lighting, I feel like you could use either one for Zoom meetings, other video conference calls. Let me give you some quick samples of each just to give you an idea of what to expect. So that's about all the time I have for this one. I still have a few comparisons left for the new Galaxy Tab, and I've got some phone comparisons to do as well, so you'll definitely want to look out for those. If you're looking for a more affordable tablet that works with an S Pen or an Apple Pencil, these two are definitely ones you should check out. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.